We have a new camera here. I need some. Hey, got it covered. Woohoo! Can some confirmation that that works, Jackie? The camera on here looks better than this camera. Look who we have today. This is my little cousin. You know, what's your name? You're so cute. This is my little cousin. You know what? Sometimes when you're doing an online class and you get this is what happens. You get this kid. Yeah, yeah. So what we're talking about today is pages 56 to 59. And can I get a confirmation that it works whenever you can? Can I hear it? Can I hear it? It works. You look confused. We are talking about this workbook right here. This is a coloring book, which I can give you my pens and you can color in this if you would like to. Okay? Look, just breathe. I love you. Just breathe. Works, yay. Okay, listen. So if we can explain it to a 3-year-old, you know when something bad happens, like your arm, look at that. Ouch. He got a big old ouchie. Yeah, I did that. And sometimes when you go through trauma or your shoes. Sometimes you go through trauma. We're going through this workbook and this workbook are the same material. They just one's a coloring book and one is not. And I have one for boys and one for girls and one for diverse and all kinds of stuff. Whatever it fits you, you just find it. And we're in the middle of it now.
I gotta brush my hair.
You gotta brush your hair. Okay, listen. I speak toddler, y'all. If you didn't know it. Sorry, Miss Lady, phone won't let me tap. Oh no, really? Tap away, tap away. So, in this portion, we're going through this workbook every day, every weekday, every morning, and it's Monday. And where we are right now is, you know, when you go through trauma or something scary, right? And something bad and something scary, it's like getting pierced with a sword. Where's your sword I handed you? What'd you do? Is it here? You better not hit me in the face with that. So you better, so it's, what did I just say? And so it's like getting pierced with a sword, right? So you like, imagine you have this sword in your body. Imagine. What's it going to do to you? Shut you up. Shock you. Shock you. It hurts, right? So imagine if you had it inside your body. What else happens? You think you're going to get a headache? You think everything else is going to hurt, right? Yeah. So you got to pull it out, right? And then you heal that wound, just like you got to heal your arm.
I can cut that tree down.
And then you can cut the trees down with the sword, right? And then you have it. That's a really good concept, isn't it? So if somebody is mean to you, right? If something bad happens to you, it's like getting pierced with a sword, right? But instead of turning it on yourself, instead of being mad all day long, this is my cousin. His name is Robin. He was named after my uncle who passed away. Yeah, and that was a big surprise. He was a surprise, and my uncle passing was a surprise. And so we have a pretty awesome family, the Sheltons. And he's really this is Robbie, named after Robin Shelton. Robbie P. Shelton.
Robbie P. Shelton.
That's right. And you got a sword. And you like that concept, right? You understand it, don't you? It's really easy. So if somebody upsets you or if a bully said something and it hurts you, it feels like a sword, right? You pull it out, and how you pull it out is you get angry and upset, cry or get mad in a healthy way. So we express it, right? And then you have it. That makes sense? And we don't hit people with it, right? We use it to cut down, trees and to build new pathways, right?
Okay.
Yeah, all right, bye. So today we are going through page 56 to 59 of the workbook. And also, by the way, the reason I'm doing this on the road and I've committed to just going live every day in the weekdays to show you the process is because sometimes as we're getting better, he's so cute, isn't he? I know. As we're getting better, you will notice that your life starts getting better. Like, for example, everything is like a sign, or like there's layers of betterness. Today, I have a new camera. We're getting a new microphone. Like, and so I was like, to show you that process, it actually adds to this, like your healing. When you start addressing your healing, your thought patterns in your head become better, and it just levels up. And what we're doing in here is leveling up with our elevating and expanding ourselves, so that we inspire each other to rise at the same level. Am I right? It's raining. Here he comes. It's raining. Just like me. Like, I have a big old thing on my lip. I cut myself. I've got some bruises. I got scrapes. So it's like we're all wounded, but beautifully broken, right? Beautifully broken. So in this workbook, we're at the stage of removing the sword, which is all anger and sadness. And you can go to all the healing techniques known to man. Thank you for all the hearts, by the way. You can go to every healing technique known to man, and it's expensive. I've done it for years. I've tried them all, and they all boil down to what you're saying to yourself in your head and how you're expressing sadness and rage. It's real simple, and you can spend tons of money and sit on a sofa for 25 years to get to the point where you can express your anger and your sadness. So it's like, so during this phase, it is pouring down rain, y'all. We're crying. Today I was going to talk about crying. That's funny that it's literally pouring down rain. So in this section of the workbook, let me know if you can hear me, because if you can't, I'm sorry. Just kidding. Wow, you're experiencing a southern porch with a tin roof. It's one of my favorite things in the world. Thank you, God. I love this so much. This right here is like life to me. Would you like to see? I'll just turn you around. This to me is the sound is so great. Good. Hey, who's got a sword? Da-na-na-na. You know what? The plant. Don't hit the plant. Okay, my favorite is short. My favorite is short board, like you. My favorite is the sound of rain. Oh my gosh, the sound of rain. So hey y'all, hey YouTube, I'll let you see it too. I'll let TikTok see it. Let me show it to YouTube. Let me see. Oh my God, we're all tied up with cords. It happens. Look, this is heaven to me. I'm showing you my personal heaven is a big old southern porch. Yeah, with rain and a tin roof. I mean, does it get any better than that? I mean, I want food in here. I want food in here too. Listen, so we're talking about, I'm live. What'd you say? Oh, I love it. My family's like, breakfast is ready. Well, I'll come in 1 hour. Go eat. This is like, it's like my mother when I go live, or is the rain, or is it a deluge? We're delusional over here. We're delusional. Okay, now he's gone in there. So much like healing, and much like we're having a healing conversation, you're gonna get thrown every single thing and the kitchen sink. Am I right? And you just have to stay steady, stay on point in the rain, in the catastrophes, in the chaos, right? Am I right? And on Friday, we left this conversation with having a rant. See, you a ninja warrior? Yes, I am. Ninja warrior. So we left this conversation with having a rant. And, I also am here with my family, and my family is like pretty devout Christian, you know what I'm saying? And having a rant that involves curse words would be a no-no. But I say, give yourself a break and remove those rules and have the rant. That sometimes you need a bitch session, okay? And if you need to do that at church, not with like a private community, like, listen, all is forgiven. You will be forgiven. You're not going to go to hell for this one little minute. Because I've seen it work. I've seen it in my travels that you got that, and I've seen it more than once actually. You got the little 80-year-old woman who's never been given the space to purge, and you let her say, there are no rules. You can say every word that you ever were told you can't say to purge it out of your body, the anger and the sadness, and it doesn't last forever. That's why this concept works so well. Hey, good morning. With the sort of trauma, is because it has an end point and it doesn't last forever, and because it's not a clown car. You know what I'm saying? It's not like some people's with JJ's. They're just like clown cars, popping them up. That's funny. It's just a side note. So it doesn't last forever, has an end point, and you are not allowed to, in this process of healing and going over this workbook, you're not allowed to judge yourself or give yourself any stipulations that you're not allowed to do, as long as it's healthy and that you, like when you're purging your anger and your sadness, that you don't hurt anybody else. This is why I promote having a national parks pass, so that you can find your national parks and like go find something that's like a safe place to purge, and don't judge yourself, because many of the things that we've gone through are so horrific that you need to have a total actual bitch session. And I didn't do it on TikTok last week on Friday because of the getting banned and censored, and it's like you have to be very delicate. So I will just promise on my app on this course, do one that I'll film and say everything I really want to say, and then I'll put it on my app just so you're able to have it in the course. But I won't do it here because, the various places, if you start saying the words that I'd like to say, you might get banned. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But the thing is when you do that and you purge, it actually purges it out of your body. Because when you don't purge it out of your body, you're going to get ulcers. You're going to get that repeated fibromyalgia. You're going to get the repeated angry JJ. You're going to have migraines. It's going to show up in your body. The body tells the story. That is for real. For real. So that's the rant portion, which I'm sorry that we get censored everywhere. I understand and I respect it, especially on TikTok, because it's like spreading joy. This is spreading joy when you start healing all of your old stuff and moving forward. That's the most joyful thing you could ever do, is to live in a truly like space where you're balanced with all of the nightmare and also the goal of, and you're living proof. So there's a rant, there's pages on here to do your rant. Just so that those of you who don't know me or you're new to me, I'm a writer, a filmmaker. I've written lots of books, and you can deep dive me. I've won an Emmy. It's all fancy stuff. But listen, as you can tell, I'm a fancy redneck. I am a country girl at the core. I have my shoes off, and I am into helping people heal so that you elevate and expand faster, so that we really can protect more kids. Hello. Like kids and animals, they follow me. I have that blessing. Thank you. I have that blessing for kids and animals. I want to protect them. Okay. So in order to protect them, we have to get better. Agreed? So I les you. And as being a writer and an author, screenwriter too, I wrote this workbook in the hero's journey template that you don't even realize I did that. So when you do the work and you actually fill out all the stuff, you will have the first draft of your book. See what I'm saying? You're welcome. Because I don't think at this point ever really we're at a place to hold back information. We're at a place for like judgments or competition. It's just like, here's my heart, open and broken. I don't know about you, but my heart is completely broken, shattered actually. But because of that, all the light came in. So it's like the more broken, the more beautiful. And the more pieces it's been broken into, the more beautiful the mosaic. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to love bigger and stronger, even though I've been brutalized. Am I right? Can I get a high five? So, yeah. So the devil wants to sabotage you. You know what? I'm going to say, yeah, I totally get it. I totally get it. But that is a valid statement. And for some people who are like, devil, schmevel, like, but it's your own inner psyche. It's the devil. It's organized perpetrators. Hey, you want to talk about devil? Organized perpetrators. Okay. So this is actually why I'm doing this work, and I'm doing it for free on YouTube and on my TikTok, because of there are organized perpetrators. So I'm here to tell you that there are more of us than there are of them. The problem is the perpetrators have many, many victims. Therefore, there are more of us than there are of them. The problem is they poison us in all the systems. So you have to depoison yourself from their poison. The number one thing you can do for free is change what you're saying to yourself in your head and stop doing to yourself what the abusers did to you. That's huge. That's a real big pill to swallow in your brain and roll around in your brain. Thank you. Hey, I'm gonna roll that around in your brain a minute. Stop doing to yourself what they did to you. That includes everything. That includes the way you're eating. That includes what you're saying to yourself in your head. That includes what you're doing with your daily time. If you really just take a radical inventory of how you're spending your time and what you're putting in your mouth, and you look at and pay attention and are really honest, is that the same thing your abuser did to you? Stop doing it. It's like making Excel goosebumps. Like, I stopped making Excel spreadsheet of your life and because that's what I'm doing. That, and I'm always going to be sharing all my own stuff so that it'll help you. And you'll find some little nugget, some things I do that you're like, I love that nugget. And some you're like, oh no, make no sense to me. So I'm going to share so that you can elevate and expand faster, so that we bond together and we are warriors and not just survivors. And we move into from victims to survivors to warriors to reformers, that we are really reforming. And reforming, the reason I have a network called Rockstar Reformers, and I didn't call it Survivor Network, we're survivors, is because it comes from a prayer. God is sending in the wild ones, the ones rough around the edges, the ones with reformational hammers that will break old systems that no longer serve us. Because the systems have been overrun and have manipulated and controlled by perpetrators, okay? I mean, if you haven't figured that out, go to this other class. But instead of staying in the depression and the daunting realities of the organized perpetrators, which for me personally makes me want to lay in traffic and give up, full disclosure. Hey, like that freaks me the hell out. So instead of laying in traffic because of the daunting reality of organized perpetrators, I mean, just go see, open your eyes. I personally, hey, I'm bringing the fun and the funny. I will bring the fun and the funny for the kids, for the animals, for the survivors. So I am truly a superhero for the little kids and the adults. It's like healing for the whole family, including the creepy uncle. Listen. So that's what I'll do. That's my promise, to fun and funny in the face of all the fears. Because the fears are massive and overwhelming, and it freaks me the hell out. And that's also why I have puppets. Just FYI. That's also why I'm like, hey y'all, hey, don't kill yourself today. Just today. I know it's scary. It's so scary. It's so scary what's happening. But hey, you're still alive. We're doing good. We're doing our workbook. You can get your sword right there. Pull the sword out. This Timothy. I love that you know that. I love that you know the puppets. And also, P.S. side note, only my TikTok subscribers can name puppets. This one's Timothy. Timothy. Guess what I have? Guess who I have here, y'all? Today, I have Ron. Hey. Speaking of organized perpetrators, you scare the living bejesus out of me. Ron. Not so scary. Not so scary. So, we talked about going on a rant, right? So when you purge Ron, so when you start purging this stuff and talking about the horrible stuff, when you purge it, that is going on a rant, which we will do later. I'll do it privately and put it up on my app, okay? The next step after your rant, lots of pages to do that, is are you allowed to feel the pain in order to move past it? That's a huge question. Like, are you allowed? Because many times we're told, oh, the closet screaming. Yeah, exactly. Scream closet. We're told, like, oh, behave, calm the hell down, don't act crazy, Well, sometimes the things that we have been through are completely crazy and we need to actually purge it. Okay? So, do you have that old feeling that you're not allowed? That's a thing to go on a rant about. Hey. So, what would you say? This is a question for you today. What would you say to your sword, which is your trauma, and the trauma that put it there? If you can say anything, what would you say to that? There's a place to actually write a letter because, and I know it sounds crazy, but sometimes you should do this with your non-dominant hand with an actual pen or pencil or color pencil or crayon or whatever. So write it out, dear sword. Anyway, so if all of your trauma, and many of us have many of them, am I right? Is like being pierced with a sword, right? So you're writing a letter to the trauma, not to the person who did it, but to the actual trauma, to the actual event. Write a letter to it, and see how this sword, the damage that you had. Oh, he walked away with my sword. God only knows I'll never see that sword again. The child has walked away with my sword. Lord have mercy. So your sword, right? If you are wounded, right, has also served you. It's just like all your crazy, poisoned, uh, stunted behaviors that come with your old triggered thought patterns have actually served you and kept you safe. I know that doesn't make any sense, but it's like the ego putting you in places and that is trying to protect you from being abused again. So you, with this, you become a total raging, right? You, hey buddy, coming out with a mouthful. Where's my sword? He literally goes, oh no, I pulled it out and I have it. Where's my sword, buddy? Excellent. And he has the sword. Come over here and show it. Over here, big mouth. You got a big full mouth of yummy food. Look at that. You got your sword, right? You got it. Isn't it awesome? So sometimes you get knocked in the face, right? I love it. But this being stunted and all the things that we do to ourselves in order to stay healthy can actually serve us, right? Yeah. All right, on your way then. And so I see some dirt too. Listen, I see some dirt all around. So I know that's like you got to wrap your head around it. Like, how has your behavior actually served you to keep you protected, to save you from repeated trauma, right? So there's my Aunt Susie right there. And so how has it served you? And that's a big question because you don't. Hey, no flower. Like, we don't hurt animals or plants with the sword. Listen. Now. We're gonna see some trauma now here in a minute. Don't make me come over there with my sword. Where's the nanny? Oh, there is no. The nanny is my aunt and uncle. They're making food in there. They don't care. I'm going live talking about swords. No, they don't care. Hey, good morning. So my question is, how has it served you? How has your behavior that was not good? It was not good. Actually served you. That's a big what'd you say? And because you can thank it, you can thank yourself and your psyche and your ego for thanks for actually trying to keep me safe. And now I'm good. Now that I realize that, now I can go to the next level. So there's a way. Hey, Lindsay. Yeah. He's doing sword work over there. He's doing sword work, and here's the next thing. I'm going to let you go now because I see the pattern. So I know I've been telling you, makes you stronger in ways. Yes, it really does. And one thing that I'll just show as an example of I was very, very angry because of my own experiences, and I kept being in relationships with really angry men. And instead of blaming the men, because the most common denominator of all of your relationships is you. It's you. The common denominator of all of your relationships is you. So if you have a complaint, it's just, Lord have mercy on my soul. If you have some, I was just saying, if you have a complaint, just kidding. That's a good pot. So if you have a constant, thank you, baby. Can I have that? Or can you be careful? Hey, be careful with your swords out there. You can wound other people. That's exactly the workbook. So one example for me, as I was attracted to really angry men. And instead of blaming them and saying, which many people do, like, oh, men are bad, men are toxic, men are angry, blah, 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 blah. It requires you to be very, very radically honest with yourself. And I realized that the sword, my pain, was keeping me attracted to, hey, loudness. No loudness. You're so funny. You're seeing this live. I love it. Why don't you come over here, sit here, and play with this puppet?
What?
Yeah. Don't you take Timothy out of here. You got to sit right here and play with Timothy. Timothy doesn't leave me. There you go.
Why do you think?
Why do I bring my sword? Because I'm talking about swords. Here, you want Timothy? This is actually really relevant for when you are doing your healing, and everything in your psyche will try to keep you from doing it. You feel me? You feel me? It's right. You understand. Everything makes sense now. So back to patterns of thinking it. Big cut. I speak toddler, y'all, if you didn't know. Meow. High five. Bye, I love you. Run away. So this is really relevant, y'all. This is really, really relevant when you're actually dealing with all of your trauma and healing, and everything in the truck gets thrown at you, right? So that truck is over there, he said. There's a tractor too. So repeatedly addicted and attached to angry men, I saw that I could thank my sword for serving me because I was angry. Yeah. And I was like, are you on live right now? Yes, I am live. I'm live right now. I'm live right now. It's live. You're seeing this live with my little cousin. This is what's happening. Listen. And I'm letting you see it because it is actually relevant. You know when you want to get better and you're in a chaotic situation, you still have to just get it better. So he says, good morning, Vietnam. Yes, for real. Thank you, Heather. You see me. Hey, listen. Can you run around those trees out there 8 times with that sword? Count them. Shiny object, shiny object. So when you this point of this is thanking your sword, like actually thanking, you're writing a letter of thanks, like thank you for serving me. Instead of hating on yourself, thank you for giving me the attachment and addiction to angry men, because it enabled me to see that I was angry. Does that make sense? Because I was like, how do I get your workbook? It's AngelaShelton.com. And I'm literally working on that site constantly. So, bear with me. That's also relevant of like when when you're a big fat hot mess and you do 5 million things, and you also have a parent, and you're also in relationships, and you also have a relationship with yourself, and you're also dealing with the pandemic, and you're also dealing with life and traveling and it's like you can do all of that and still continue forward. That's why I show you the behind the scenes, and that's why I show you my own, like, girl, I don't know what's happening. Listen, I thank myself for being this far. I got this far, y'all. I don't know what's happening next, but I got this far. And thank you for serving me. Thank you for giving me all. It's not thanking you for the trauma, right? It's not thanking like, oh, yay, thanks that I went through all that trauma. I'm not saying that. I'm saying thank your own behavior, even when it was bad. I just got drunken texts the other night. Like, so it's like, thank yourself for putting yourself through those. What's the word where you're like a myriad, like a labyrinth of poison that you got to get out of, because when you get out of the labyrinth of poison and start waking up and elevating and expanding, you do step into true warriorship. So it's not like it's easy. It's not easy stuff, but it's fun. And I bring the fun and funny. That's what I'm going to do. Yeehaw! Say it right now. Fun! It doesn't have to be completely depressing all the time. That's why also with the completely depressing stuff that you've put yourself through, I'm talking to myself too. I've done the same things. Like, thank that. Like, you know what? Thank you. I get it. I get it. God bless you. Thank you. You're welcome. They will distract you and tell you that what you're doing is a waste. Exactly. Distractions, which is very funny that this is happening right now, because it's a beautiful thing. And I thank you, because this is who we're protecting. That little guy right there. So it's like, and as we become more warriors and more balanced, we protect more of these kids. You know what I'm saying? So, including your own inner child. So I know that's a hard one to wrap your head around, to thank your old terrible, horrible behavior. But I'm going to let you go now, because I see it. Like, that was a huge for me to be able to swallow that pill, that I was attracted to angry men because I was angry. I mean, that was big. And it's like, I don't know if you share this with me, and I mean many survivors do, that you could be given a stadium of gentlemen, or a stadium, if you, whatever parts you love the most, a stadium of great potentials, and you will find the jackass. You'll seek them out. Among a sea of amazing, you're going to seek out that jackass, and you're going to marry him. You're going to do it. You are going to fight to find him. What? So, yeah, I'm talking to myself. What'd you say? I love it. That's me. Yes. Okay. So if you have that, thank yourself for that. Right? I know it does. Thank you. I will hold your sword. You're welcome. You're so cute. I love you. So why the narcissists? Why are you attracted to narcissists? That's a deep dive for yourself. Like, I mean, maybe you need to learn to be more selfish. I mean, seriously. Like Papa's in the bathroom. Can I get food? Boy, I am on a live. Listen. Papa's in the bathroom. You need to go poop.
Yeah, but I need to go somewhere.
Sometimes you gotta go poop. You gotta go poop. Why don't you come over here with that? Oh, look, you've got Ron. His name is Ron. This is Ron. Does Ron have to poop too? Sometimes you got poop. And you know what? You got to just deal with it. Yeah. Sometimes you got to poop. Don't you walk away with Ron. Ron ain't going pooping with you. Listen.
I'm gonna eat you.
He's going to eat the camera. Don't lift that up, please. Thank you. Here, leave Ron here and you go poop and come back. I'll still be here. Have fun. Wipe your butt. The fact that you witnessed that makes me so deliciously happy. Behavior we had, but you weren't killing yourself. Yes. The rule is you're not allowed to do that. Not allowed to off yourself, because that's not part of this game. Even though sometimes that seems the only choice. And I've been there. I mean, honestly, full disclosure, I sold my pistol so that I didn't use it on myself. So I mean, I understand those thoughts. I get it. I've been there. I that's also why I have mad respect for it. Sometimes you have this face. What's up with that face? Is it food related or poo-poo related? Somebody's in the bathroom. You know when somebody's in the bathroom and you got to poop? I mean, that is terrible. Did you know that there's a bathroom upstairs? There are other ways we can deal with these problems. Think about it. There's a bathroom upstairs. You follow me everywhere I go. You just followed me in there just 20 minutes ago. Why don't you go to the bathroom upstairs? Why don't you find another pathway to deal with the issues, to deal with the problems? That's what we're doing today. We're learning new pathways to get out of old pains. Bye.
Is your egg
You
I want egg.
want Ron? No, Ron is not going poo poo with you. Amen. Amen. I love that you were witnessing this because it is so relevant. You want my sword and Ron? Fine. They're not going poo poo with you. Just please. Then you don't know what's going to happen. If I work with kids a lot, you don't know what happens if you got poo poo puppets and a sword. No, alone. No. Angela, you got 2 friends on here to hear your amazingness. Oh, you got 2 friends. You know, when you're doing all this work and you only got 2 friends, your best friend is yourself. I know that's a hard pill to swallow after coming from self-mutilation and self-hatred and all this myriad of like nightmares that we have to crawl out of. Hey, like it is, Sue. So I'm gonna let go of all of that, the attachment to the bad behavior that's repeated trauma, because you don't serve me anymore, right? And because you've seen it now. When you actually have the aha moment, you're like, oh, whatever you're doing to yourself that's the bad behavior, when it's repeating what the abusers did to you, it has to stop. And it's easier done than said. Get rid of this whole like, it's easier said than done. It's not. You can talk about it for 25 years on a sofa and spend all your money. And that'll just lead you to a space that you're able to express your rage and your sadness. When you spent 25 years on a sofa getting to that point, it's easier done than said. And you have to be radically honest with yourself. And that's why I'm radically honest. And that's why I reveal everything. And that's why I'm like, well, I'll tell you anything. Ask me anything. I ain't going to lie. Sometimes it's not pretty. Sometimes it ain't pretty. But you know what? In order to reveal and heal and move to the next level, you got to be radically honest and peel back. I got scale. I'm covered in bruises from falling down a waterfall. What am I going to spit? I got the old busted lip right now. What am I going to do? Not come on here because of, so I think I've healed this last month. Oh, yay. I love it. And it's so fun. It's awesome when you catapult but beyond an aha moment, because there are huge aha moments in healing. Am I right? When you're like, oh, and then you elevate faster. Like you're in another, like you attract a totally different type of human. You're so nice to yourself. You're like taking care of yourself, and it's unfamiliar because it's what the abusers did not do to you. So when you come from abuse where you were starved, right? And then you starve yourself. So number 1, stop doing to yourself what somebody else did to you that was poor and bad, right? Do not cut the cord with sword, okay? Be careful. So also, when this is the perfect example. What happens if you just give up? Why can't we just give up? Just be like, I'm done. What would happen if you just gave up? Just like if you just, nobody cares. Nobody cares. That's the sad thing. That's like the sad thing. So it's like, okay, well, game over. Nobody cares. You can give up. Or you want a leaf. There it is. Or you can keep going and be a part of the game and the grand party, right? Don't ever give up. Thank you. Thank you, Jerome. Same to you. But there are many times when you want to. Am I right? And when you're like, I'm dumb. I'm going to give up. This is so dumb. There's many times that that's where I'm at. I need help. Okay, so super love to you. I will tell you that in that place where you don't have any answers, where you think it's over, when you're on the floor, when you're on the floor, the only thing you can do is look up. Okay? So just lay on the floor. I'm not even joking, Nixie. Go freaking lay on the floor and look up, because the answers, the answers are there And sometimes the answers are not what you think they are. There's an alligator named Ron. So, just like to be in a sometimes you don't understand nothing. Sometimes it doesn't make any sense. Am I right? Sometimes when you've got Ron and a sword. Why don't you come over here so they see you? It's very funny. Come here. Sometimes you don't know what to do. And sometimes you want to just give up. You know what happened to this little fella? He grabbed a bowl that he wasn't supposed to grab as it was being made, and it had boiling water in it, and he burned himself. So like sometimes things happen that you are just like, ouch, was not ready for that. Do you give up or do you just cry about it and move on? What's your answer? Oh. What's your answer? You cry about it and move on? Yeah. Yeah, you cry about it and move on. And sometimes you have to lay on the floor and look up because there's nothing else to do. And to be in the space where I'm going to tell you something. You're here for a reason. Your purpose, your greater purpose, and why you're actually meant to be here is more important than your pain. So I'm going to have to be a little drill sergeant on that one and be like, I don't care. I don't care if you're so upset because same here. So it's not that I don't care. I'm going to be a drill sergeant to be like, all right, well, lay on the floor. Lay on the floor and look up and do a little meditation. And I guarantee you something's going to show up that you didn't think about before. I'm sorry, my texts are coming through messed up. Oh, sorry. Hey, pick up the cup to the fridge, get water, drink water. Exactly. Like just, it's like baby steps, right? And because if you just gave up, then game over. And that's not why you're here. Because here's something that can maybe help you, Nixie, and anybody who's like there, which I have been there. When you know that organized perpetrators are intentionally keeping us poisoned, separated from each other, and poisoned so that they can get little kids like this and torture them. I want that to make you really mad.
You don't mad?
Yeah, it makes me mad. And just by you getting better in your own life, you actually help. You do. You don't have to go start a nonprofit. You don't have to. You can't give up because I just offer you that just thought. I don't ever promote vengeance or revenge or like living in anger, but I hope that makes you a little driven. Driven is a good word. Driven instead to be mad about that and know that there are more of us than there are of them. So what if I gave up? Because I've been there. I've been on the floor. I got robbed. Like I got robbed from millions of dollars were robbed from me. And I got left with nothing. So it's like, well, do you give up then? So it's like, if I agree to not give up, I invite you to not give up either. Because we're the same. You're on your island. I'm on my island. I might be ahead of you. You might be ahead of me. I might be finding really things that inspire me about you on my island. But we're all on all on our own islands as warriors in a great battle. Right? That's why this also works well too. So, okay, so if you're on the floor, you got it. You're on the floor. You're on, right? You can lay there and just take a minute. It's okay. It's okay to unplug and just be there for a minute and lay there. Take off work and just be wounded for a little bit. Just have a good cry about it. I really recommend these. This is my favorite. I got this at Target a long time ago, many years ago. So if we're all on our own islands in a great battle.
What is sharp? That is sharp.
It's sharp. Yeah, good job. You found like a little sharp rock.
Yeah.
In your travels on your island. On your island, you got some sharp rocks. Awesome. I love it. So when you're on the floor and you want to give up, know that you are an island unto yourself. I'm an island unto myself. And just lay on the floor. I mean, just be there. Don't judge yourself. And just love that moment. And then say, you belong. like that. You belong here. This is like, I'm gonna get your work. Yeah, you got me all. Yeah, well, please get the workbook. And I understand if you're on the floor, you might not have the money for the workbook. Okay, that's also why I'm doing it for free on YouTube. If you can't afford $9, which I totally get, and I would recommend getting these, but these are like 25 or something. One's 27, one's 39 because of all the color. But if you can't afford that, don't spend it. You know, go through the workbook and just online on my YouTube and just write it down yourself. You know, so I don't because I know the floor and because I have my heart is understands. I'm not going to keep you away from any of my material because of money. Okay, so there you have it. Stare at the view. Yeah, lay on the floor and stare at the view. I mean, seriously, what is your sword? This is Target, but sword. The comparison for this is like your trauma is like getting pierced with a sword, and my sword was child abuse. And and when you compare it to a sword, then you can remove it, heal the wound, and then you have it, which is what we're talking about. And there's many stages to that. That's why there's a workbook. And the reason I'm doing this, by the way, is this is used all over the world. It's actually got a couple different countries that are translating it into different languages. Loudness, no. And the reason it works is because, hey, I got a cramp. Thank you. The reason it works is because you can apply this to anything. Not for this sound, baby. Just bang. He's such a boy. Bang, bang, bang. Hey, we're still here, so I want the loudness to, you want to come over here and sit? You can do that. Or you can run around the trees 8 times like I told you already. Count it out. Count it out 8 times. 8's like infinity. Do infinity around those trees. He's role playing. He's seriously. So, what if you just gave up, right? Goal achieved. Oh, yay. I don't even know what that means, but apparently I achieved a goal on there. Hey, I don't even know. Listen, it says it may seem exhausting and overwhelming to remove your sword, which is to address the trauma that put it there. But I question this. What's worse? What's worse? What hurts worse? Leaving it in, never addressing anything, just living like this for the rest of your life? You can do that. What hurts, leaving it in or pulling it out? What hurts worse? Repeated trauma for the rest of your life. Cut to my grandmother. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm not going to address anything that I've ever been through in my life. I'm going to die of a heart attack, but I'll be just fine. I'm not going to address anything. We're not going to talk about it. Or you actually, like, it hurts. Like, that's why the sword works so well. Because if you imagine pulling a sword out of your body, it's going to hurt. You're probably going to scream. Probably going to cry. So what? So what? We've screamed and cried a lot. Why don't you scream and cry intentionally and then remove that stuff and then use it? See what I mean? So what irritates or upsets you about this process? Me being interrupted all the time irritates the hell out of me. But I come from, like, you know what? Love. I must come from love. Look, he messed up my little camera too. Look, there you go. Hey, exactly. So, like, being interrupted all the time. What irritates you? Repeated patterns. When you see the same relationship, you're like, well, hell, I thought I divorced that. I'm in it again. See what I mean? Because because this is also a magnet. The good and the bad. So when you start addressing this and removing it and going into the next level of play, which I'm at, like my life is like, I'm engineering my life so that I get to have more fun, be funnier, and have more fun, and help people face huge fears. That's like, it's so fun. That's so fun for me. It's a task. I can't seem to focus and get tasks done. I feel you, Heather. Side note, I really recommend that I'm going to do it too. I recommend that you do it. Get on Regenerate. That's my side note commercial. Okay. What happened to having to poop is what I want to know. Did the poop shimmy back up? It was like a turtle head. It just went back up in there. What happened? It's like a turtle head. You never heard that before? When you've got a poo-poo and then it shimmy back up there. He's going. He's going. Did you paint that? Oh my God. Yes, the common denominator is you of all your trauma. And when I'm so glad that you got to witness that. It's so funny. So you make a list, cross them off, and also like you can't seem to focus. Is also. I'm so glad that you got to witness that. That makes me so happy. What irritates you or upsets you in this process? Well, I got a turtle head. He's gone. We have about 2-3 minutes. So, but to come back to you when you have a hard time focusing, because if you tell that, regenerate, I'm coming back. I'm coming to it. If you tell that to your doctor, your therapist, your shrink, they're probably going to put you on meds that is going to lead you into another layer of being poisoned. And really, it's a matter of becoming more awake and aware and healing all this stuff. So regenerate, this is my commercial for my friend Jesus. His name is Sean Gilder. It's the one in Nashville on TikTok. He's also theoneinnashville.com. He has Lute, LUTE.life instead of .com, Lute.life. He has a couple different products. One is a liquid. It's a liquid mixer. It's a non-alcoholic mixer intended to help you get off of alcohol. Or if you're around a bunch of drinkers, you can use that and be social, but be having way more fun than your friends, and it's super healthy. His next product that just came out, and only 30 people can get it, which we haven't even, I'm going to Nashville to help him, to help promote this and to organize the site. And is Regenerate is a powder that will eventually be in a pill form. And it's a combination of magnesiums and GABA and like blood simulators, yada, yada, yada. He helps, and I know these people. I've seen this for a couple years now. He helps people get off of alcohol and benzodiazepine addictions within like a month. I've seen it with my own eyes, and I've been watching him. I know him very well. He was my missing link that I needed for my body health. That's also why I look so good at 50, is because I've been finally following his advice. And granted, let me tell you, I'm doing like 40% of what he recommends, okay? Full disclosure, I'll be fully honest. And his new product, which I've seen him work with other people on, and he has it ready to do for 30 people with coaching for a month before he sets it up to go into distribution for pill form. Regenerate heals the brain, like the actual brain. So we can do all of the mindset, we can do the meditations, we can do all, and you can heal yourself on a spiritual level, but the actual, literally your brain, this actually helps heal your brain. The line of the inner critic, the inner tyrant, the hater, the self-hater, which is why people go to alcohol and benzos. Wrap your head around that. He has a whole book about it coming out. So it's like, so if that's the inner critic, so that's what he's healing in people's brains who are alcohol addiction and benzo addicts. I've never been on meds. Thank you, baby Jesus. But I like alcohol. I drink, have drunk, but I'm not like I'm actually knowing him. I actually haven't been drinking. I've been drinking raw milk. But here's what I noticed. If all of those people who are addicted to benzos and alcohol are off of it, and I know these people, and I've been watching what he's been doing. They're off of it within 1 month and living like amazing lives. The same thing would happen for us, for trauma survivors, for that shame. I'm telling you, it's my theory here. And as I say this, he hands me sword. And then I have sword now. I'm regenerating sword. Hallelujah. Ow. Golly. Here. Come over here. Stand right here. Say hey.
Yes.
What happened to the poop? Were you just the fastest pooper I've ever seen in my life? Or did you take care of that? I just want to be sure. Watch your sword, people. Watch your sword. What was your AngelaShelton.com? And also his website is the one in Nashville.com. The loot is LUTE.life instead of .com. So it's .life. I have to go think. Mwah, you're so welcome. I will see you tomorrow. I'm doing it every weekday, 8:30 Eastern time. I'll be in Nashville. That means I got to go 7:30. I love you. I still don't hit somebody else with your sword, because you can just keep wounding each other. See this? All right. Calm yourself. Why don't you lay on the floor like Nixie? He just gave me this look like, yeah. What happens when you just lay on the floor and hold your sword up? Yeah, lay on the floor and hold your sword up. He's like, not in my face.
Yes,
I can have a healthy sword all day long, but I will come after you. Listen. More. Hey, Jay. Okay, I'm gonna finish these pages. Go poop. What irritates you about this process? Turtle heads. Oh, he fell on the ground. Look at you. So, I am annoyed. This is the person. Wait, what upsets you about this process? Oh, you know what? We did go to the letter to the sword and to letting go. We're at our place. Now he says, I'm going to go watch TV. Really? I'm at the last page. Now I'm going to go watch TV. I've done my annoyance and my interrupting abuse. I'm going to go watch TV. Bye. Bye. See, what irritates you about this process of healing? Yeah. LUTE, not loot. LUTE, not LOOT. I know. But it's LUTE.life instead of .com. And that
why he does not say?
And regenerate is the next thing I'm gonna do, because it's gonna heal brain. And I guarantee you, I have a theory, but I believe that I'm right, that if he's helping all these alcoholics and benzo addicts, it will also help trauma survivors. So I'm telling you, like, hey, y'all, let's get in there. Let's get that and do it together. Agreed? Agreed.
Leave her sword there.
Leave her sword there.
She needs it. She's got to protect herself.
Listen, I got to protect myself with my sword.
One's after. Come here.
Woo!
Robbie,
He's like,
look what you've done.
Oops.
Come on, come inside. Come on.
So, hey. Uh-oh. We're crying. We're almost done. So how fast can you run around the outside of the ice? Hey, I tried that, y'all. I tried, like, can you do figure eights around the trees? Can you do it? Harmony. I'm actually really glad that you got to witness that, because it also applies, right? It applies to try healing, y'all. Try it when you're gonna face all of your own addictions, your own past traumas, your own self-hatred, and you're gonna get hit with every single thing under the planet. I mean, literally. And you just stay centered. Sometimes you have to lie on the floor, like Nixie. I've been there. Sometimes I am in Tennessee right now, yes. And I'm heading to Nashville to ride at Music City e-bikes, which is part of my self-healing and self-care and self-love, is riding bikes. And I'm going to be with Sean Gilder, who created Regenerate and Loot, for all week. So hopefully I will be able to have him on at some point, and we can talk about Regenerate, because that's my little that's my side note commercial to us, as because many of us, I mean, most of the people who know me and who are like arrive into my world are trauma survivors. Like, you've been through some hell. Raised by wolves. Were you raised by wolves? Were you handed a really crappy set of cards? I mean, that's Regenerate and Loot. Yes, it's Loot. You spelled it right. Yeah, LUTE.life instead of .com. I think that's crazy, but God bless them. It's Regenerate. It's on the front page right now, and I'm actually working with shooting a bunch of videos of him and helping him expand, because just like I help trauma survivors, this guy helps people with their health, and he helps addicts get off for good. And I'm telling you, the same thing can apply to trauma survivors that it does to alcoholics and benzo addicts. Same brain, same inner critic, same shame neuropathway, same self-hatred, same constant negative thought pattern. See, they agree. Yeah, same little negative thought patterns. So raised by wolves. I meant you, raised by. I'm going to switch over to. I can see your comments better. I'm so sorry. You have the sweetest patience with the constant actions around you. Kudos to you. Thank you, Heather. Thank you, Heather. It's because I have worked on this. If this happened to me 20 years ago, I probably would be yelling and screaming and having a fit. But I stay present, and and I just love everybody. And also, that little kid, the little Robbie, is why we're doing this. I mean, that's why I do it. T-shirt raised by wolves. I actually have a T-shirt raised by wolves on my site in the merch section, which is hard to find. I mean, let's just go into that issue. So you totally stay present. Thank you, Heather. Whew. So we did it, people. We did it. So in this section of this workbook, whether you watch it for free on YouTube or my app, the app is I Love Angela Shelton. You can get it on Google and Apple. There's 2-step process because that's Passion.io. I have my own app on there. So you get the app and then you have to sign in again. So there's a 2-step process, which can lose you. I realize it. Lost my mom. She's like, I don't know what to do now. I feel you. I understand. I'm all aliens, astrology, and animals. Need to organize my art rooms. Good. The site is difficult for me. Is it the Passion.io? Yeah. I feel you. I feel you. I'm 1 month in. I'll be one clean sober in 1 month. Oh, nice. That's amazing. Good for you, Jonathan. It's freaking awesome. I personally, yes, negative things can emerge. Yes, for real. This is me personally. I don't put a date on my thing because it's every day that I'm like living and expanding in my heart and my self. And I'm very into opening up and expanding selfishness because we are taught repeatedly, especially women, that we're selfish and we shouldn't address all these things. We shouldn't spend time on self. And I'm going to flip that around, kind of like I say, it's easier done than said. I'm going to say be more selfish because self is God. Self is divine spirit. You're a spark of the great one, or whatever you want to call it, and not hold a sign and cry about it. So you are a divine spark of spirit. So therefore be more selfish, right? So expand your time this week. It's like, ooh. So I will see you tomorrow morning. I'll go 7:30 because I'll be in Nashville time, but you don't know that. So I'll be 8:30 again, and we'll do the next pages. And this is going to be it's on my YouTube for free. The reason is because of people who are on the floor. And please, if you're able to, those of you who are able, get the workbook, get it for somebody else, send it to somebody and expand in your heart more, because we're all broken. We're all broken, right? And it's like, I'd say we're beautifully broken. Even a retreat that uses all this work that actually uses my workbook and the sword. There's a retreat, the Beautifully Broken retreat. My friend Kim Mayer runs it. It's amazing. So it's like we are heartbroken, broken, traumatized, been through it. We've been through it. Some of us are on the floor. Some of us are way further ahead. I'm way further ahead than many people. And then some people are, like a lot of people are way further than me. And I watch them out of respect and appreciation, not any kind of judgment as far as like competition. Don't do that, please. Like we're all on the battlefield, right? And you're on your island, I'm on my island. I'm showing you ways to go faster because that's what I'm doing. I'm the funny and fun one who's showing you how to face fears faster so that you can go faster and have more fun than I did. And unbreak your heart. Like my heart is broken. My heart is totally shattered. So therefore it's totally open. So it's like a mosaic. It's like the most beautiful mosaic because my heart is completely shattered. So that's why I'm like, you know what? Like switch the thoughts around, like just like it's easier done than said. Stop doing to yourself what your abuser did to you. There, just change your whole life. Because I guarantee you, if you look at the behavior that you've done as a trauma survivor, I'm totally guilty of it. And you just look at just your behavior of what you're saying to yourself in your head and what you're actually doing. If it's the same thing as your abuser, stop it. I mean, my thought patterns in my head now are like, I love you, you're precious, you're goofy. Hey, goofy weirdo. I did my nails all goofy. Hey, goofy weirdo. Why'd you do that? Why'd you do it in different colors? Because we're all different colors. And they're like little ballerina slippers. I can do what I want. And so mine is, I love you, you're amazing, you're so funny, keep going, it's fun. It's because it's fun. Yeah. So I offer you and challenge you to really change what you're saying to yourself in your head. And if you need that help, like do it, start today. Start today. What are you saying to yourself in your head? How can you switch it to more magnificent love, even when you're broken? Because you're beautifully broken. Does that make sense? You're like a mosaic. Like, I don't know what the hell's wrong with you. You got a turtle head. It's your problem. Go get rid of that turtle head. Oh God, I love you. I will see you tomorrow. Magical